There is a Turkish boy who is interviewed by a presenter, and the presenter says to the Turkish boy, "What is your dream?" He said, "My dream is to meet my beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam." And he says, "What would you ask him?" He said, "What would I need to ask? I would thank him. I would tell him, Ya Rasulullah, Jazakallah khair, that when your people persecuted you, you kept going. When they would beat up your Sahaba, you kept going. When they stoned you in Taif and you were bleeding, you kept going. When you saw your friends being tortured because of your message, you kept going. That when your people offered you the sun in your right hand and the moon in your left hand, you kept going with the message. That when Khadija radiallahu anha died, you still kept going. That when your heart was broken, when your uncle died and you lost your protection, you kept going. That when Abyssinia was the NATO ally, you believed that Allah could flip his heart, so you sent Ja'far to them. That when you were kicked out of Mecca and it broke your heart, you said, Wallahi, I would never have left you if your people had not driven me from you. That you went to Medina and you kept going. That when 1,000 Quraysh turned up at the gates of your city and said, we want to eradicate you, you looked at the 300 and you said, let's do it, this message is worth it. That when you were defeated in Uhud and you saw what it did to your uncle, you didn't forsake the message, you got back up and you kept going and you continued, Ya Rasulullah. That when all of the Arabia came against you in Ahzab and they blockaded your city and you were digging the trench, you had no plan to drive them back, you just tried to buy time digging the trench. You didn't compromise on it, you didn't give up the message, you dug the trench. And when Munafiqun laughed at you, when they said, look how desperate situation he's in, you kept going saying, I see the pearls of Persia. That when Hudaybiyah was signed and your Sahaba were upset, that you kept going. And when you entered Mecca, you forgave them, and in your forgiveness those people carried the deen. And because of that forgiveness, because of that struggle, because of that perseverance, because you persevered and embraced it, Islam reached me and I reached here in Firdaus with you. Jazakallah khair, Ya Rasulullah. That you struggled in a way that my generation hesitated to struggle, but Jazakallah that you struggled, because you delivered the deen and we entered Jannah. The deen is about struggle, because to them is the dunya and for us is the akhirah. Let akhirah move you in the way it was always meant to.
من عزائم الرجال سوف نبقى بثبات تقتدي به الجبال نطرد اليأس ذليلا من عزائم الرجال